welcome back with Kat. So for today's video, I wanted to share with you guys a really fun and easy recipe. Our main star for this show is gonna be, of course, boiled eggs. But let me tell you, with deviled eggs, you can't make it without mayonnaise. So I'm also gonna be showing you how to make your own carnivore-friendly mayonnaise that you can use for this recipe or to supplement it for something else. Whether you're on the carnivore diet or not, these deviled eggs would be suitable for any crowd. So feel free to use this for your next upcoming party or family gathering. But nonetheless, let's get to it. So the first ingredient we're gonna need is some vinegar. Now I am choosing some white distilled vinegar. You can of course opt for lemon juice, you can opt for apple cider vinegar. I know this doesn't necessarily stay within the guidelines of the carnivore diet, but trust me, for this mayonnaise base, we are gonna need some acidity. Now for our fats, this is gonna be the most crucial component. You can use your leftover rendered tallow. This is just ones that I've collected and I set on my countertop. I also have this duck fat that I've been anxious to try, which I will be using for our recipe today. But you can use lard as well, or any leftover bacon grease. The fat truly is up to you, but it's just essential that we need this key component.
Honestly, making your own mayo is super easy. I'm just combining all of my ingredients, which is my 2 egg yolks, my teaspoon of white vinegar, a pinch of salt to taste, and I'm gonna be using my emulsion mixer to whip this bad boy up. So I'm starting with the initial ingredients, followed by adding in my duck fat little by little. And wait a minute, I feel like I'm being watched. Hi, Cuddles. All right, back to what I was saying. Anyways, you want to add in the duck fat little by little. Otherwise, you are going to mess up your mayo texture. So let me show you what it should look like. And then let me show you what it should not look like. Now, once you've gotten all the duck fat mixed in this lovely texture, go ahead and use a glass container for storage, and you can put it in the fridge for up to 4 days. All right, here's a look at our final results one last time.
Ooh.
I know I've talked about the copper egg copper chef before, or as others like to call it, the egg maker thingy, but I love using this tool. It's super easy for me to just make my hard-boiled eggs this way. It's got all the right measurements as far as how much water I need, and I don't even need to monitor this thing. It just takes care of itself. In about 15 minutes, it should be done. And so once that is finished, I just soak my hard-boiled eggs into an ice bath. That way it will stop the cooking process and I can just let it cool off before I touch them. My other step here is, this is totally optional, but I am adding in some pork belly on top of my deviled eggs. So I'm just gonna prep them with some salt on top and then just cook this on the iron skillet until they become crispy. When it's done, I'm gonna just reserve it to the side for later. Now, back to our eggs. So now that it's been chilled out, I'm gonna take off the shells, and it comes off pretty easily. Now, some look a little imperfect, but that's okay. It's all gonna end up in the same place. Next step is just to cut our eggs in half, and we're gonna be putting the egg yolks or the cooked yolks into the main bowl. If you pull against the white wall surrounding the yolk, it should pop out pretty easily. Here is that process again. And now you wanna just take a fork and press against the yolk to break them up into fine little bits, just like this. Now, time for our mayo. So I am just taking 3 tablespoons from our mixture here and adding it to our bowl. And this is totally optional, but I am adding in just a teaspoon of yellow mustard and an additional teaspoon of white vinegar. And this will give us that perfect taste. Now, of course, you can add in a little bit more salt as you prefer, but this is our final texture. And a pro tip for you guys out there, you can use any Ziploc bag or sandwich bag to transform it into a piping bag. Trust me, this will be so much easier than using a spoon to dollop in your mixture into the center of the egg. And if you guys like tips, you'll like this next one. Just don't lose grip of your piping bag. So go ahead and fill her up, because now we get to the fun part. Also, no pressure whatsoever. I mean, it's not like anyone's gonna get turned off by the looks of your deviled eggs, right? And don't get me wrong, a classic deviled egg sounds amazing, but I'm gonna just top mine off with a little bit more salt and of course, my crispy, crunchy pork belly bits, you know, for texture. All right, and that's it. We are done. Super freaking easy.
All right, guys, we are back and I've got my deviled eggs here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a taste test for us. I don't know if you guys are the type to like shove the whole thing in your mouth or just to take a bite. I'm gonna take a bite. Wow. I feel like it's something different than what I've had in a while, but it is so good. Again, you can never go wrong with deviled eggs at a party, so I really hope you enjoyed this recipe, or if anything else, at least enjoy it for yourself because this is a nice little recipe to add into your rotation. All right, guys, thank you so much for sticking with me in another video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next. Messing up my video.